Hello and welcome to Joy News Interactive. I am Peter CBD, so excited to bring you some exciting content here on the Joy News channel, on Multi TV, also on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144, on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for Joy News on TV. This is Joy News Interactive. Thank you so much for your comments. Now, let's talk about Christmas preparations. It's exactly a week to Christmas. How prepared are you? Have you been to the market? Or are you going to do last-minute shopping like I am on the 24th of December? Well, I visited the Malata market and I was speaking to some traders and some consumers about their preparation for the Christmas, and this is what they had to say. It's exactly a week to Christmas and we're here at Malata Market to find out how preparations are going. Is it going to be a dry Christmas? Is it going to be a wet Christmas? Many people throughout there have been complaining that there's no money in the system. So we are here on the grounds to find out the reality. Do they have money? Are people spending? Are people buying Christmas? Mami, Pacho, good morning.
Good morning.
So we want to know, okay, firstly, what do you sell?
Drinks, water.
All right. And how has business been throughout the year?
This year, the market is not good. They are not buying.
Yeah.
We don't see anything like Christmas is coming.
Yeah. All right. But, I mean, your prices, have they reduced? Have they increased? Let's talk about some of your prices.
Oh, I think the prices is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are not.
The people are not buying.
They are not buying.
Okay.
Like Christmas like this, workers will come and buy for gifts, but they are not coming.
Yeah.
We have our coke is here, malt, everything is just here. They are not buying at all.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's also, Christmas is only next week. Do you not think because it's still too early, that's why people are not coming? You know, people like last minute shopping. Do you not think that's the case?
Oh, maybe. I think so by next week.
Yeah.
We hope if it will happen next week, dear, we don't know.
All right. And compared to the other years, the previous years, is it better or worse?
Oh, last year too, the same like this. Yeah, but last 2 years, the price small.
So I just spoke to one seller, but right now I see a consumer here and she's asking about prices. Let's see how if the Christmas spirit is within her. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I can see that you're asking for prices. Have you found anything that you want? How's it looking?
I came to ask for the price of my dear goat, rice.
How's the festive season going for you so far? How's the Christmas spirit going for you?
It wasn't like before. Now, the cost of living is high.
Yeah.
Money is not in our pockets. So even if you are buying something for Christmas, you sit down and you plan. Formally, you can go out with money and few money, and you bring enough goods to the house. But now you have to plan and reduce the things that you need for the Christmas.
All right, so that's my visit to the Malata market. But did you know that varying climate conditions can make your best before dates of processed foods questionable? And this is because when it comes to the end of the year, we're buying in bulk, and you might get best before dates or food that is already expired. Let's listen to the FDA on this.
I mean, in the first place, to educate those who are bringing in products, whether you are manufacturing them here or whether you are importing them. If you bring the products in, you know, distribution is the next step. So we say by the time it gets into the country, there should be enough time, you know, to comfortably distribute the products, because some will be storing in warehouses, some will be moving them around, and then you need to mind the conditions under which they are stored and which they are transported. So it's a collective responsibility that we all face, but particularly the freight forwarders, the importers should take note of this. You don't keep products in store for a long time under wrong conditions and expect the product to perform as the manufacturer, you know, has stated. So it was to enlighten all of us.
Okay.
Yes.
So this program, that the target audience, like you're making me understand, is for freight forwarders. What exactly are they supposed to do differently from what they already do?
Oh, thank you very much. We've had, you know, at the ports, people bringing in products that if you take the shelf life of the product, you realize that you barely have enough opportunity for it to go into circulation.
Okay.
And because you have brought it in a mass, it's like you brought us a heap of problems,
okay.
you know, which then you find sometimes going into what they call don't call me, and you know
because they don't have enough time for the product to expire.
Yes.
So they just push it out and they sell it at very cheap prices.
Very cheap prices, but then it cannot really be consumed. And once you attain the best before date or the expiry date, you can imagine the manufacturer is absolved of any you can't litigate against, because the manufacturing date or from the manufacturing date to the expiry or the best before, you know, there are definitions that are there. For example, when you're talking about the issue of best before, the idea is that this product would have the qualities, the scent, the aroma, if it is crispiness, whatever attribute that is supposed to have before the date, the product is supposed to exhibit that.
Yeah.
Immediately that the deadline is, you go over that
date.
You cannot hold the manufacturer, responsible. Then also there are issues.
But that doesn't mean that on that best before, so you can have your canned product and you can still take it after the best before date, but it will not give you the best of quality.
The Food and Drugs Authority is not saying that.
It's not saying
yes,
that.
we are not saying
because
that.
I've heard that. People, and a lot of people say that. They say if it's best before, then it means that you can still eat the food after the date, except that you won't get the quality.
Read it from my lips. The best before date, the expiry date, the sell-by date, when it's up, you cannot put it on the shelf.
Okay.
That is it. You can't go into commercial business with it.
With that on that day. Can you eat it? Assuming you've bought it already.
Well, you are in your home. What you do in your home is not...
Well, that's why...
So the Food and Drugs
That's why we're seeking advice. We're getting into Christmas.
Yes.
There will be a lot of buying and selling, and people are actually looking at the season and saying, look, everything we have now, we have to sell it now. Because this is the moment that people are buying. You
see, look, if you go into the chemistry of it, when you talk about food is a complex matrix. If you talk about medicines may be a particular active ingredient. So it's paracetamol. So there's one particular active ingredient there. When you're talking about food, you are talking about a combination of fats, oils, depending on what the food product is. Fats, oils, vitamins, carbohydrates that behave in various ways. So that's why somebody would take something and say, or no, it's 10 SAR. But we know normally that when we take that particular product within good time, we are okay. Then it also depends on how you stored it. Now, in order not to complicate issues and following international best practices, we go according to what we call the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Is this body formed by the FAO and WHO, and we go by their dictates. And some of these things are clearly spelled out. When food is manufactured, it must be kept in a particular way. It must be stored under particular conditions. That's why foods that are supposed to be eaten cold are eaten cold. Those that are supposed to be kept warm, when you go to your weddings and you're having your meals, you say this one, the soup must be kept warm. It's for a particular reason.
Okay.
Yes, safety issues and so on are considered here.
I see. So if it's beyond the best before date, you're not supposed to eat it.
Yes, we don't expect it to be in trade. And
not us being in trade is off the table.
No, what you do in your home is your business. But you are advised. You are advised that please go by the dates and keep and store the products the way they are supposed to be. And I wish that smile would leave your face.
Okay, so what you do in your home is your business, but in order to be safe, the Food and Drugs Authority advises that you should not consume foods that have exceeded, or whose date have exceeded the best before date or the expiry.
You're still watching Joy News Interactive here on the Joy News channel. Now I'm going to take you back to the Supreme Court to see the Chief Justice Sophia Akufo off.
The older ones who have already retired, I already knew in the university. But those of you who are the current members of the bar, you have all been really, really wonderful to work with. You've been a very easy team to work with. We have had, in the years, well, 24 years or so that I've been on the Supreme Court, we had all kinds of ups and downs, situations where people were not even talking to each other and things like that. But this team has been really wonderful. And I really thank God that just before my exit, a fresh crop has been added. And that fresh crop, by God's grace, is made up only of women. It's made up only of women, because women always grace every activity. And I think I told the president yesterday that, yes, thank you, but more of those. And we are expecting that there will be more women also sworn in as in next year. The bar is shaking, the president of the bar is shaking his head. Because there are more women at the bar, there are more women on the bench. Should be reflected in the lower bench and the middle bench. It should be reflected as we go upwards. And just because there were more women sworn in yesterday into the High Court does not mean that things are as they should be. In the Supreme Court, there should be more women there as well. So I take this opportunity to welcome to the Supreme Court Justice Avril Lovelace Johnson, Justice Gertrude Tokono, and Justice Mariama Owusu, who couldn't make it to this event. Oh, she's gone. Oh, okay. So Mariama is over there. She's hiding over there. Yes. And so, what more do I have to say? I've thanked everybody, and I thank the Lord. I thank everybody, and all I will end up with is that to God be all the glory. And Ghana has the best constitution in this world, and let us make it work for us. So I charge my colleagues on the Supreme Court, please protect Ghana by protecting your function, the judicial function, and particularly the functions that are yours under the Constitution. Let us not compromise it to the advantage of the executive or to the advantage of the legislature. Our Constitution was configured as it was because of our peculiar history. And that is why, unlike many constitutions, so much power was given to the judiciary, and particularly the Supreme Court. So let us uphold and protect that function. It's not the power by itself, it is the function that arises from the power, and thereby we protect every citizen in this country. Thank you all very much for your listening.